Here we are, another Saturday during the dog days of summer. That's an expression that we have in the United States, meaning things are really slow because of the heat and stuff. So we'll see if that holds true. We got our first two comments. First one from our friend Ben. Good morning, everyone. And then from I Nobody over there on the X platform. Good morning, Richard. How are we doing? Exciting times forthcoming, I think. I think the exciting things are going to be coming. I anticipate Final Cut Pro 11.2 at sometime this fall, hopefully, at the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit, if there is going to be a Creative Summit in 2025. I know a few things that I cannot discuss yet, but I have not heard anything definitively, absolutely, these dates, blah, 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 which is, so FMC has another event going on right now at the end of July, which is the AI Creative Summit. So I think once they get rid of that, then they will start promoting the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit if there's going to be one. I don't know for sure. I do not know for sure. This is late. This is very late this year. Good morning, Richard, from Beauharnois, Quebec, Canada. Absolutely. Are you having a summer there? Our friend from New Jersey, Darius News. Good morning from New Jersey. I'm editing as I watch. Well, that's a good thing. I enjoy editing. I like to edit most things. I'm not that big a fan of editing under pressure. I'd rather edit in advance, and at the end, you can kind of glide. I don't like the pressure. Carter Bain, good morning from Creedmoor, North Carolina. There was years ago when I was the post supervisor at the National Archives in D.C., it was when it was in the mid-teens, 2000 something or other. Good morning from a wildfire smoke-shrouded sunny and warm Montreal. Wow. Wildfire. I presume Canada has summer times like we do, since we're on the same, whatever that is, parallel equator. Yes, will be a very hot 33 degrees Celsius or more. It is, oh, look at that, it's not even registering. I think it's going to be in the 90s this weekend. 90s Fahrenheit, so whatever that is in Celsius, I'm not sure, but it's hot, hot, hot. So, I'm going to make sure that anybody that's watching, that maybe that's been watching for a few weeks, go ahead and put a little post in there in YouTube or on X or Facebook and let us know where you're from. It's always nice to know that. It's always nice to know. So, let's talk about what I do, what I can talk about. I'll have to look at my notes. Let's just chat for a little bit. So, I'm expecting 11.2 to come out this fall, regardless of the Creative Summit. If there's no Creative Summit for some reason, I still expect 11.2 to come out. You know something that's happened to me in the last couple of days, well, since yesterday, I started checking my internet speed, download and upload. And it's always been, I got a 2 gigabyte plan from Xfinity. I've had it for a long time. And it's like right now, it's 922 megabits per second download. And it's always been, let me just do this. It's always been 41, 42 megabits per second upload speed, which is plenty going, like for streaming. It's been that way for years. So I called Xfinity up yesterday. Let me pull this up. I called Xfinity up yesterday, and we had a discussion. I said, look, I'm getting 922 megabits per second. This is on Wi-Fi. 922 megabits per second download. I'm paying for 2 gigabits per second, 2,000 megabytes per second download. So I'm getting about 50%, which is okay. That's okay. But it was dropping yesterday. I was getting like 500, 495, etc. But I've always just got 41 megabits per second upload, like for this live stream. Well, I called them up, and I got a new modem coming. It's supposed to be, let me go back here. It's supposed to be 2 gigabits per second download and 2 gigabits per second upload. That's quite a dramatic increase from 4 megabits per second upload. So the new modem's coming tomorrow, so I'll install it and run some tests. But here's the odd thing, since I called them up, they switched something on my existing modem and my existing plan. And this is what's happened. Instead of 41 megabits per second up, I jumped to almost 300 megabits per second up, and I didn't do anything. I just complained to them. I said, look, I'm only getting 200, I'm only getting 41 up, and you advertised 300 up. Well, they did something, and they switched it, and now I'm getting close to 300 megabits per second up. So that's a bonus. And then tomorrow, I get the modem, hook that up, and I'm supposed to get probably about 900 or so, probably 50% of what the rating is, but that's dramatic from what I've gotten before. So, dramatic. How old is my current modem? It's about 2 years old. That's what they told me. And it doesn't cost anything. Xfinity, I'm using their, I rent their modem. So when there's a new modem out, I don't have to buy it and hook it up. They send it because I don't know, pay $9 a month or something. It's that way. If there's any issues with it, they take care of it. But they also are upgrading my service. Here's the thing. There's competition in my county now, Carroll County. There used to be no competition for high-speed internet. It was all Xfinity, Comcast. They had the only high-speed available. Well, no, they now have a new company that's offering the same kind of service, but it's all fiber, et cetera. So now what they did was my service was $138 a month for 2 gig, but I wasn't getting 2 gig, especially not on upload. So I was looking at downgrading to 1 gig. I said, well, if you're not going to give me anything close to that. And then we talked about it, and it was 138. It's now 115 for 2 gig. New modems coming, 2 gigs up, 2 gigs down, and new modems coming. And it's 115 a month, and that's locked in for 5 years. That rate is locked in on Xfinity's end for 5 years. I can cancel at any time. I can change my service at any time. But they guarantee $115 a month for 2 gig for 5 years. Not bad. Now we'll see if they get, like if I get half of 2 gig, that's fine. If I get 1,900 upload and download, that's fine. That's completely fine. Still in Lincoln, Nebraska. Our friend Sean Beckner says good morning. Absolutely. Good morning, Sean. And so the phone call that I did, first off, it upgraded my whatever. They switched something on. My upload speed's a lot faster, from 40 to almost 300. And I didn't do anything. They did something because I complained about it. They looked at something and said, oh, something, and they did a switch. But anyway, when I get the new modem, supposedly that's going to be 2,000 down and 2,000 up, which will be, I've never had that kind of upload speed. Do I need it? Not really. I mean, I'm doing fine. I was doing fine with 40. It said required bandwidth is 10 megabits per second. Let me just show you this. Let me just show you this real quick. Now, how do I do that? Let me see something here. Let me see if I can do this. Current application. Speed test. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Why isn't it showing it? Huh. Cam live. Let me turn this off. There we go. So this is my bandwidth right now. This is live, rolling required bandwidth, and I only need, as you can see, required bandwidth is 9 megabits per second. Well, I'm at 300 megabits per second. Let me just turn this on. Hold on a second. There we go. So I'm at 300 megabits per second, and I only need 9 or 10. So I've always had plenty. Even at 40 megabits per second, I've had plenty of bandwidth to do this live stream. So I'm going to have, supposedly on paper, 2,000 coming in. It'll probably be closer to 1,000 realistically upload speed. So it's amazing. It's amazing the speed that I'm going to have available. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. Oh, our friend. Are you streaming in 1080p or 4K? 1080p. 1080p. I film everything that I film. My DJI Action 5, both of my iPhones, my iPhone 16 and iPhone 15 are both 4K. Everything is 4K. My Lumix S5 Mark II X, I always film in 6K. Sometimes open gate, but normally everything's 6K regardless, even if it's 16 by 9. So I only stream in 1080p. I'm not going to stream in 4K at this point. I don't see any need to. I think everything looks fine. Everything's looking fine. I'd switch to symmetric fiber if not for needing to have Spectrum's public access channel to confirm airing. So I've been with Xfinity, Comcast before that for 20 years. For the most part, I can get through to them when there's an issue. They come troubleshoot. They give me free upgrades every so many years. They give me new plans. Like I said, I was paying $138 a month. I'm now paying, starting now, I'm paying $115 a month, guaranteed for 5 years. That rate's guaranteed for 5 years, and I'm going to get 2 up and 2 down when I get the new modem hooked up. So that's plenty. I don't do any, the live streaming, and that's unlimited data, whatever the heck that means these days. Who the heck knows? My phone got hacked the other day. I just swapped the router and modem out. Thank goodness Apple is such a good product. I was able to block them before they did too much damage. Absolutely. How did that happen, Sean? How did that, what was the mechanism that everything got hacked? That's a drag. Absolutely drag. You mean your modem got hacked? My phone got hacked. Huh. That's interesting. I've never had my phone hacked. So, yeah, Apple's a great company. They took control over my phone, but I mean, how? How did they do that? How did they get control over your phone? Did you click on a bad link? Then they got into my MacBook. Okay, well, that's not normal for a Mac or an iPhone. So how did they do it? Did you click on a link somewhere that you shouldn't have clicked on? I don't think they can just do it remotely without your interaction. So you must have, I suspect that you clicked on something, a link or a text message or an email or something. I know you know better. You're a smart guy, that's for sure. That's scary if you didn't have any interaction to cause that. But so one of the other things that's happened in the last couple of days that I want to mention from Apple is they have the new Apple Care One package deal that I switched over to. Now, so I have 2 iPhones, both of them have Apple Care Plus, theft and lost. I have a new iPad Pro that I bought in 2024 that has Apple Care Plus, and my Mac Mini and my 2021 MacBook Pro, they've all got Apple Care Plus programs. So with Apple Care One, I have 3 devices for $20 a month at the top tier. So both my iPhones, 15 Pro Max, 16 Pro Max are on there. And then I put my 2021 MacBook Pro on there because that's the most expensive. And then I added the iPad Pro for $5.99 a month. So I'm paying $26 a month for 4 devices. I was paying between $35 and $40 a month for all the devices separately. Apple Care One is $19.99 a month for 3 devices, any 3 devices you want. So the iPhones are most expensive. The MacBook Pro is most expensive. They are $13, $14 a month each. Okay, so you figure 3 at 4, just say 3 at $15 a month, $45. Okay, if you're doing them independently, if you get the top tier, you only pay $20 a month with the Apple Care One for the 3 devices. So I have 1 extra device. So I don't need the Mac Mini because the Mac Mini is only $3.49 a month. I mean, I have it, but I don't need to add it to the Apple Care One. It saved me $15 a month. And the other thing is, it's all in one place. You can add devices, you can take devices off. Simple. Of course, it's Apple. Now, it took me a while. It took me 45 minutes on the phone to get properly signed up because I tried to do it online. It was crazy. It was a day of frustration. I couldn't get it done online on my phone, on my Mac, or my iPad. They straightened it out, but it took 45 minutes, and of course, they're great. So. They use the phone to get some Python programming into where the firewall menu is in the MacBook. I blocked all incoming connections and then just went to work on it. How did they get into the phone? I guess that's my question. I think it's only in USA. And the reason I'm asking that, Sean, is so I can prevent that from happening, and maybe our listeners can prevent that from happening. So how did they get into your phone that started this hacking? Because I know you're smart. You know how to do things. Dirty Wi-Fi. Okay. I've been warned. They've been warning us about that now. When I go into airports, I use the Wi-Fi connection, and security experts saying don't do that anymore. Just use your cellular connection. Or it was a fake link. Dirty Wi-Fi or a fake link. I see. Gotcha. So, yeah. I use Wi-Fi in the airports all the time, but I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Because when I go to the airport, like for example, let's say I go to Creative Summit in November. Well, I usually stream live from the airport. I use their Wi-Fi. I make sure it's legitimate, but if you connect to a dirty Wi-Fi, they can get in there and do bad things. Apple One is only USA. I think it is presently, but they're just rolling it out. It'll come to other countries. It'll come to the other countries for sure. But I'm very pleased with that. So I did two things yesterday. I knocked $15 off of all my Apple Care per month, and I lowered my Xfinity cost from $38 to $115 a month, guaranteed for 5 years, and I upgraded my service dramatically with the new modem coming in. So I'm very pleased with both of those events. They took a while. Each one took a while on the phone, but I'm saving money and I'm upgrading my service, so I really like that. Announcements are imminent. Can we expect the end of Final Cut Pro for iPad subscription model madness, text-based editing? I don't think they're giving up on Final Cut for iPad. I don't think so. I would be surprised if they gave up on that at this point. I think that's an experiment for them. They don't have nearly the subscriptions for the iPad version of Final Cut as they do for the 5 million or 6 million Final Cut Pro subscriptions on the Mac. They don't have anything close to that. They don't even they probably have tens of thousands of people. I doubt they have much more than that. Nothing wrong with it. It's a nice little product. Text-based editing would be huge for me. Absolutely. So, Ben, that is my number one request. You know the way it used to be scrolling timeline, right? For years, scrolling timeline. Text-based editing is now my new number one. Absolutely. That and a roles-based mixer. Those are my 1 and 2. Absolutely. Can we get them in 2025? I think the possibility exists for one or both of those. Wouldn't that be fantastic if we got a roles-based mixer and text-based editing in Final Cut Pro 11.2? It'd be phenomenal. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. Roz at Inspire Video. Good morning. Coffee's on. Absolutely. I want Final Cut for iPad. It's very good for mobile ENG. As discussed, I want to purchase a license. Here's the thing. So Final Cut for iPad, I don't like the subscription model. Apple gives away Notes. They give away Safari. They give away all their Mac OSs. They give away GarageBand. They give away iMovie. What else do they give away? Calendar, Numbers, Pages. All these are given away. There's no charge for any of these. Okay? I'm not saying don't charge for Final Cut for iPad. What I'm saying is keep it at $4.99 a month. Absolutely. But give people the options to buy a perpetual license. If you don't give people the option to buy a perpetual license for Final Cut for iPad, you're not listening to your customers. And that is what Adobe does. It's not what I expect Apple to do. Apple, your customers want to buy a perpetual license for Final Cut for iPad. I would buy one. Even if I don't use it, I would still buy a perpetual license for Final Cut for iPad. Pixelmator. There's no subscription for Pixelmator. Apple bought Pixelmator. It's a one-time purchase. Is it a pro app? I guess it is. No, I'm not saying Final Cut for iPad could go away. Absolutely not. I think it's very useful. It has its place. Absolutely. And I'm just not going to try it until I can buy a license. I have LumaFusion on my iPad and my iPhone. I mean, listen, I love taking this to the Creative Summit, sitting in the lobby, filming a couple things. I film this way. I don't film vertically typically. Filming a couple clips in the Juniper Hotel lobby and assembling them into a video, quick video, maybe put a couple titles in, and then uploading it to my YouTube channel so everybody can see right away. That's what I like doing. I'm in the airport, I do the same kind of thing. You can't edit Final Cut on the phone. I have to transfer it from the phone to the iPad. I'm not going to film with the iPad, okay? That looks so ridiculous. Oh, look what I got, a big iPad. I'm scrolling around, I'm filming with an iPad. That looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. Using it as a monitor is one thing. Filming with it is ridiculous. It just looks silly. No, absolutely, I want to see it continue. I buy 2 plugins from BrettFX, the one that works with Intelligent Assistants and Quick List, very affordable from BrettFX. Absolutely. Brett is a very, very cool guy. He does a lot of plugins for the Final Cut Pro community. We met 2 years ago at the Creative Summit. I just had to trim exactly their 3-minute video by 1 second to pass as short. YouTube said it was too long. Yes, you got to keep it on. 3 minutes is pretty good. Friends, don't let friends film vertical videos. When vertical videos first started, I was just like, oh, this is for grandmas and teenagers is what I said. But I've come around to a very limited 2% of my videos I might film vertically for Instagram or shorts or reels, whatever the heck they are. That's fine. I mean, listen, when CDs started coming and albums were the big, when albums were in, records were in, and then CDs came in, I resisted going from albums to CDs. Then I got used to CDs. And then when CDs were in, MP3s came into play. I hated MP3s. They sounded horrible. They're all squished and compressed and condensed and whatever. But now I'm kind of used to MP3s. Vertical videos are the same kind of thing. Do I like them? No. Do I film that way naturally? No. I film this way, period. Once in a while, for Instagram or a reel, I'll film vertically once in a while. But by and large, no. My eyes are not over top of each other. My eyes are left and right. They form more of a 16:9 frame. I hate vertical video with the passion of 1,000 suns, but it's here to stay. It is. It is. So there's no sense in saying it's not any good, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. But it is here to stay, and it has its place. TikTok, Instagram, Reels and stuff, that's fine. That's fine. General filming, no. I don't know how many times I've seen somebody film in vertical video, and I want to see what's over here, and I want to see what's over here on the video, but you can't because you got this little tiny slice, and everything on the left and right, you can't see it. And it's just, that's frustrating. If you film vertical video intentionally and frame it properly, that's fine. I watched an event down on Main Street in Sykesville. The mayor was doing something. And they filmed it in vertical. They were doing live streaming. They had it vertical, and they must have been 30 or 40 feet away from the mayor. The mayor was this big. They didn't have her mic'd up. So all they had was the ambient microphone on an iPhone that was 30, 40 feet away in vertical mode. It was completely amazing that they did that. They can't figure out, first off, film horizontally. Second off, get your camera close to the audio source. She was this big. And it's like, could you hear her? You can hear the birds louder than her. I don't do Insta stock. I completely understand. A lot of people don't even do Facebook. Shorts cater to vertical videos. They had to embrace to satisfy YouTube. Listen, I understand completely. I shoot maybe 2% of my videos in vertical Instagram more than anything. 12 years of videos, and YouTube said I didn't have enough history until I started making shorts. There you go. I completely understand that. Funny we got SD43, then go HD69, saving our eye, seeing large horizon is the normal way to view. Now they go vertical. Wide is for fashion only. It's because people hold their phones this way. When they're talking on the phone, they hold it this way. So when they film, they just transitioned over to this way rather than this way. This is how I hold my phone when I film vertically if I'm not using a gimbal. I hold it like this. Got my thumb up here, my little finger down there, and I can angle it, and it's very stable and very secure. This is the way for video, and I try to talk my friends into it from the beginning. Film horizontally. Most of the time, this is the correct way to film. You don't go, did you watch the new Superman movie? Is that filmed vertically? You'd be missing 3/4 of the movie if it was filmed vertically. You wouldn't see any, especially with they're doing the ultra wide, 2-to-1 aspect ratio or whatever. The common folks started doing photos and videos the same way they held the phone for texting. That's correct. So social media platforms popped up catering to that, and now we're stuck with it. Well, it's okay. You know, I don't it's like MP3s. Did I like MP3? I didn't like them when they first came out. No, thought they sounded horrible. But am I used to them now? More so. Vertical videos. I watch most of my videos on my Mac. So vertical video, I get this little slice and these 2 wide black panels. So it's a little aggravating. I can't turn my monitor this way. On the phone, you can watch it. It makes more sense. But yeah, it's the phone. People holding the phone vertically, and they just started filming that way. It's okay. Professionals, for the most part, film horizontally, landscape. But some professionals film vertically. Tyler's, what's his name? Stallman was at the Creative Summit, and he was talking about that. And I've got a vertical video that it was just a spur of the moment thing I did with the gimbal. It's got like 10 or 12 or 13,000 views. And it's like 1 minute long, no talking even. So are we expecting one update before the summit? I am. They have plenty of time, Final Cut Pro team. You've got plenty of time to get us an update between now and between now, August, maybe around the iPhone coming out in September. That gives you a couple of months between that and the summit for 11.2. So they certainly, from what I understand, there's bugs in Final Cut Pro 11.1.1. So I expect 11.1.2, and they could slip in a feature or two in that as well as fixing the bug. Now, Logic didn't do that. Logic got 11.2.1 bug fix, and then they just got out 11.2.2 bug fix in the last month. They did 2 bug fixes in 1 month. Final Cut may do the exact same, but at any point between now and the summit is 4 months away, they should give us another feature or two. Okay? First, a couple of things. Number one, they gave us feature updates in 11.4.9 at the end of August. That was the proxy workflow update that had nice features around that. That'd be giant features. Just give us a few features. And then when we get to the Creative Summit, if we do to get to the Creative Summit in November, we will get 11.2, or they might do 11.2 first and then go 11.3. Doesn't make any difference. The numbering is no longer reliable. The numbering system they used to have is no longer reliable. It's likely that the coding geek who delivered those social media apps knew nothing about video production. Curious. No one to supervise and demand a change the landscape. And I think a lot of people are used to looking at video like this rather than holding their hand like this. I think. Oh, that's for that. Just checking for another check-in. I wonder if a short could be acceptable at 1.1920, 1 by 1920. So I don't know, but yeah, I think you can do a square. I think you can do a 1 by 1 video. I think that's acceptable. Darius says his compressor is not working. Anyone else? Well, let's find out. Ben says, PM me about your compressor issues or post on the Apple forum. I use it on Forum Max, no issues. Darius, is that the new version of compressor that you're talking about, the latest version? I presume you updated Final Cut, and what exactly is not working? I mean, it just doesn't launch, it bounces in the dock, you open it, doesn't compress properly. I will be so happy with the roles-based mixer. After all, any pro video needs great audio. You two can't get serious with our great audio too. Absolutely. No, listen, 14 years and we don't have a master volume fader in Final Cut. What? 14 years and they couldn't figure out how to do a master volume fader in Final Cut? Even a master volume control? There's no master volume control in Final Cut. Whatever your channels are, everything's independent. There's no master volume control in Final Cut Pro after 14 years. Come on. They have a roles-based mixer in Final Cut. It has not been released yet. And I can talk about it because I'm not under any NDA. This show would be pretty boring if I was under NDA, right? If I was under NDA, there wouldn't be any show because I couldn't talk about anything. But I'm not under NDA, and I don't plan on going under NDA. Now, that's not saying that I don't have communication with people involved, whatever. And a lot of times I'll give them my opinions on something and they can react or not react whatever way they like to. Obviously, I know people involved in the Final Cut Pro community, lots of people, dozens. Look at all you out there. You're the best. You're the best people that haven't been involved with Final Cut. Absolutely. So I know people. There is a roles-based mixer in Final Cut Pro. It's been there for years. When it's going to be released, don't know. Maybe 2025. That would be a nice big feature update, wouldn't it? Role-based mixer and text-based editing? That would be phenomenal if they release that. Hopefully at the Creative Summit, if they have one. Yeah, square to portrait, but how extreme of portrait, pillar box portrait? Well, I'm just saying I know that they take, if Instagram, for example, takes square videos. You have a square would be a top and bottom would be cut off, but not side to side. You wouldn't have that 16 by 9 little teeny frame. It would be a much bigger frame in the center. I mean, but listen, Instagram's different than YouTube. It's different than, I've never done any TikTok videos or, any of those, but I do have an account, but I don't have it. I have latest compressor 4.10.1. Once you click start batch, nothing happens. Status failed. Can you export not a batch, just one video? And just pick a generic QuickTime video, something that you didn't do. Throw that in there and see if you can export just a generic, or export something that exported before. See if that works, but instead of a batch. Here's Ben's suggestion: compressor settings advanced, reset queue that do this 2 times. First to cancel all jobs, second to repair compressor. Doesn't fix everything, but fixes a lot. Ben, fantastic tip. That's a great tip from our friend Ben down in Louisiana. Yeah, batch or job. There you go. Nothing going on out there, Camlink. Nothing going on out there, Final Cut TV headquarters. No birds. It's very hot, though, so it doesn't surprise me. We keep water out for the birds. We have a bird bath with water, and we have food out for the birds, and we change it on a regular basis so it doesn't get moldy and stuff, etc., etc. But there's no birds out there right now because it's too hot. It is too hot. Dari says, thank you for tips. I will try them. Absolutely. This is a great community. Ever try keying off that lawn? Why would I key off of it? Why would I key the green out? The green is beautiful. Speaking of that, let's go over here. So what do I have? What do I have? 41. So this is one of my strays, and he's we call him Shadow. Let me just put this up. We call him Shadow, and he's a beautiful, beautiful gray cat, green eyes, and I'm just getting to the point where he lets me start to pet him, and then he'll run away. But this is this morning. Come on over here. Come on. He lets me get close, and then he runs away. Now, it's very hot. It's very hot. This is my sunroom that I built for these cats for the wintertime, but it's hot now. So this is Sammy, who's sitting on the chair, and he's got his own personal fan to help him stay cool. Do we have spoiled cats or what? But this is the sunroom. This is the sunroom, so. We hit 95 degrees this week, waiting for 99 next month. I got to leave the South one day soon, getting too old for this heat and tropic humidity. Do you like the snow, Ben? Because people, I loved the snow when I was younger. Now it's a chore because I got to snow blow their driveways. And people think, oh, you got a snow blower. It's easy. No, No, it's not easy. It's a lot of work, especially if it's deep, and it takes me hours and hours and hours out of my day. So I don't like the snow like I used to, although I'm probably going to be getting a new snowblower this year, a new high output snowblower from Orion's, 28-inch, that's going to hopefully take care. I have an old Sears one that's been a godsend. I couldn't do anything with it, but I'm looking to get a new one. So waiting for the 2025s to come out. No problem. My compressor is on 4.10.1 so far on a batch. I just appreciate the tip resetting, Ben. Absolutely. Ben's very good with giving tips. We'll be very happy if Final Cut Pro or Mac OS to kick out any incompatibility plugins instead of a Final Cut Pro crash with informative message or course. Speaking of informative message or course, let's go over here. That's my speed. How about this for a message? The operation could not be completed. No other information is available about the problem. Why do you even give a message like this? Final Cut Pro team. This message tells you nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't even bother with messages like this. Just say, we don't know. Good luck with your problem. So these are the kind of messages that are just silly. Yeah, if they kicked out incompatibility, absolutely. Some cats don't like it when you point a finger at them. I'm just trying to reach as close as I can, and I've got to pet him a little bit. It's taken a while. It's taken a year, but I'm not in any hurry. He's out there every morning. He gets fed. Clear snow, clean up after floods, it's all relative. That's very true. Very, very true. And then here is, let me go over here again. Here is his name is Shadow for obvious reasons. Here is Shadow walking down the driveway. He's taking a scroll. He's a very, very, very nice cat. We've already had him spayed and neutered, of course. Of course, we take care of these cats they don't go anywhere near the road. They stay in our backyard, and we have neighbors in the community behind us. Between the two neighbors' houses, that's pretty much the only place they go. They have the sunroom that Sammy was in with the fan. They all sleep in there in the wintertime. We have 3 of them, 3 males. And it's closed up, it's heated, they have heating pads, and they have a cat door so they can come in and out, but any big animal could not. I love snow, so do the girls, and you need to get up here north a little bit. Maryland's a good place. Maryland has both. We don't have very, very few hurricanes, very few tornadoes. Once in a great while, we'll get a rumble of an earthquake, but the East Coast is pretty well settled compared to the West Coast as far as that goes. So here's what we're expecting. When I say we, I'm talking about me. Final Cut Pro 11.2 at some point in the next 6 months. So between now and the end of December, 11.2. Unless they give us 11.2 early and do 11.3 later in the year. My top 2 features, text-based editing and a role-space mixer. Those are my top 2, but there's dozens of other ones. Things that I'd like to see. Better keyframing, absolutely. Just as an example. The girls being 2 German Shepherds, I understand. Yes, they probably would love the snow. They're probably not big fans of the heat. So I got a new generator for my house. We lost power for the 2nd time this year because of trees falling on branches. And the one that I had, that I still have, 5,500 watts Generac, old, it's 10 or 12 years old. I had problems starting it. It was the fuel. I had to empty the fuel out, let it dry out, and put brand new fuel in. And then after a few pulls, pull, it started up and smoking, and then it finally worked itself out. And we had power again. I have a connect into the house, so it'll power the entire house. That one was a 30 amp power. Was a 30 amp. So it runs everything. I turn the hot water heater off. I turn the AC off. All the big ticket items I turn off. But it runs all the lights. It'll, no problem, run the TV, internet and stuff. 30 amps is plenty. But because I had problems with that, and it is old, I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I lose power for a couple of days and I don't have a reliable generator, so I got a new one. I got an inverter, a Champion inverter, 9,000 watts start, 7,250 run. It'll run at 7,250 watts, but it's an inverter, which is very clean. The total harmonic distortion is like less than 3%, 3% or less. Normal line is 5 to 10%. Generators produce 10 to 20% total harmonic distortion. So I got the inverter model. This model had a 50 watt option on it and a 30 watt. So I switched my 30 watt connectivity to the house over to a 50 watt last Sunday. I got an electrician, local electrician on Facebook. He came up. I paid him by the hour. He hooked it up. I had all the parts. I had the connect kit. I had the 6-gauge wire that goes from the connect kit to the power panel. I had the 50 amp circuit breaker, et cetera, et cetera. So now I'm set up with a brand new inverter generator with electric start that runs on gas, and it runs on propane, and it runs on natural gas. Any of those, any one of those. And it's electric start. It's a battery operated start. You don't even have to pull the cord, although you can. So I switched over to a 50 amp service. And then I started reading about air conditioner compressors. And they were saying you can run your air conditioner compressor off a 50 watt or more, 50 amp or more generator if you get this box and hook it into your compressor. The problem with compressors is when they start up, they have an incredible spike. Mine was probably 120 to 130 amps to start up. That's way over the 50 amp limit of the generator that I got. I installed this box. I got it. It's like 4 wires you have to work into your compressor system. Plenty of videos on YouTube about it. I'm not going to do a video like that. It's now starts at 32 amps. Starting is 32 amps, which is less than 50 amps. So the generator will do it. And it runs at 5 and 6 amps while it's running. Starts at 32 amps instead of 120, and it runs on 5 amps. So I can now run my air conditioner compressor on my generator. Big, big thumbs up for that. Thanks to YouTube. Thanks to people that make this box. It's called Easy Start. American made. You can get tech service if there's any issues. They have a very explicit video on how to do it. You got to turn your power off before you get involved and stuff. But anyway. Milcor says, "Hello, Richard. How are you? I'm doing very well." Another comment here. "For those of you who need to be mobile, want to edit on iPad, iMovie is perfectly fine for most jobs. I've used it many times. No clients or viewer cares what camera was used or how it was edited." That's very true. We always forget about iMovie, don't we? iMovie is a very, very nice, cool little editor. Ben says, let me just see what Ben sent me. He sent me something. All right, Ben, let me post this. Let me post this on our... This is from our friend Ben, and it's very true. Best of luck. Don't call us. We'll call you. It's broken. Best of luck. Exactly. That's what you might as well say. If you don't have us, give us information about what's going on. This is exactly correct. Very good, Ben. I like that. Very cool. Have you seen Logic has another update? Yes, they've had 2 bug fix updates in a month. 2 bug fix updates in a month. They had 11.2.1 and now 11.2.2. Darius is good one, Ben. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is the dog days of summer for Final Cut Pro, isn't it? It is the dog days of summer. It happens every year. People are on vacation. Is the Final Cut Pro team developing something over the summer? Who knows? I don't know what they do in the summertime. And we usually don't get anything, and with the exception being that one August, and we got a great update. Are they working? I'm sure they're working. It's just we don't see the results of that work, not until later in the fall. Now, let's do this. As you can imagine, I keep getting questions about the Creator Summit, right? I know some things that I can't talk about. I don't know the status of the Creative Summit for 2025 yet. I don't know. One way or the other. I've heard conflicting things. Let's go over here. This is last year's Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Okay, this is last year's. If you click on this up here, if you click on this right there, you go to their main web page. Their main web page, Future Media Conferences, our events. So right now, this is the reason I think we're not getting information about the Creative Summit, because they're doing the AI Creative Summit, which is happening right now. You can see July 30th, 29th to 30th. What's today? It's happening in a few days. So I think they are busy with this, and they don't want to dilute the interest in this Creative Summit by adding another Creative Summit in the mix at this point. So let's scroll down. Post-Production World New York is happening October the 21st to the 23rd, 2025. That's NAB New York that they also have coming up, Post-Production World New York. So what about the Creative Summit? Okay, this is what they say. This is what they're saying, November 2025, but there's no dates. Location, Cupertino, California, which is we expect. So on their website, they have the Creative Summit still listed for November 2025. Let's hope so. Let's hope that comes true. If I had to guess, I would say yes. If I had to guess, I would say yes, there's going to be a Creative Summit. And I would say that the Final Cut Pro team is going to introduce a new version of Final Cut Pro there, very likely Final Cut Pro 11.2, with big feature updates. Dog days, dog's life. I don't get these sayings. My dogs are catered to. Do what they want, eat well, sleep a lot. Seems like a dang great life to me. It is if you have a great owner like you, or somebody that cares for them. Same with our cats. Our cats are completely spoiled, as they deserve to be. Any pet you take in, you should be spoiling them and taking care of them. There we go. Dog days of summer, I think, refer to the rising of the star Sirius in the night sky. Yeah. Makes complete. That's what it is, Jane? Yeah. She said yes, that's what it stands for. So there we go. We got a confirmation on that. So we've been doing these Final Cut TVs. This is our third year, almost every single Saturday. Almost every single Saturday. We have 50, 55 people watching live right now, which is really cool. The audience is building up, building up, building up, building up. So of those people that are watching, if you haven't commented, go ahead and comment either YouTube or on X or Facebook and let us know where you're from. That's all. Just say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm from wherever. That's fine. We got people from all around the world typically watching this. We're all Final Cut Pro people, right? I mean, I am. Do I like other NLEs? Of course. Absolutely. I like LumaFusion on the iPad. I'm a big fan of DaVinci Resolve, and that's where I would head if something happened to Final Cut. Absolutely. I think I know the source of conflict about shooting landscape versus vertical. Most of us come from the shoulder video camera, handycam young people don't feel the way, they never worked that way. But Daniel, look at your eyes. Your eyes are not over top each other. If they were over top each other, I would say you can look at vertical video. Our eyes are horizontal. So besides the way the phone is, this is the way we look at things. We don't look at things like this. I don't know how many times I've seen a friend of mine shoot vertical video, and what I'm interested in is off out of the frame because they shot vertical instead of horizontal. But vertical has its place, okay, social media and stuff, but you have to think about, I'm shooting vertical right from the beginning. If it's a horizontal scene, film it horizontal. If it's vertical scene, you can film it vertically if everything's framed properly. Serious, okay, say it, the serious days of summer, absolutely. Scott Favorite. Thank you, Scott. Anchorage, Alaska. That is very cool. Now, don't tell me you have a summer up there in Anchorage. Don't tell me. It's got to be cold up there, right, still? You still have snow on the ground? Maybe you don't. Wow. I think, Scott, you're the favorite. You're the first time I've had somebody from Anchorage. Just like every Saturday, hi all from Dominican Republic. Thank you very much for letting us know. Y'all need to hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And subscribe and all that. So I'm trying to get a nice cartoon image that I can use on social media. And I've used Image Playground, and it looks nothing like me. It looks absolutely nothing like me. It reminds me of a teacher, a college professor or something. It looks nothing like me. I tried Image Playground. It's silly. So far. Very dry summer, but is it hot? Is it like in the 70s and 80s, or is it down colder than that? I just think of Alaska as being snow covered. Mammal eyes have much more horizontal peripheral vision than vertical. We have very little vertical peripheral vision. That's another good point. I can see my fingers all the way over to here. I can see both of them, over that one. But up and down, not really. Down, I can see more, but not up. Mild temperatures, very interesting. Is there any snow in Alaska where you are, or some of Alaska? I always think of Alaska as having snow year round, for whatever reason. for whatever reason. It might be a misconception on my part. So I'm pretty excited. Here's what I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. A new version of Final Cut with features. I'm interested in this iPhone 17 Pro Max. I most certainly will buy that in September. Probably. I'll trade in my 15, my iPhone 15 Pro Max on my 17 Pro Max. That's what I'm going to be doing every year. I need 2 iPhones. I film with 2 iPhones. So I'll keep one generation. So this year I'll have the 17 and the 16, and I'll trade in my 15 on the 17. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm looking forward to a new, I've been a proponent of the DJI Mic 2 for a long time. I'm not that thrilled with it anymore, to be honest with you. And I only need 2 lapel mics. I have a great 32-bit recording shotgun mic that I can use, interviewing somebody back and forth. I like that mic. It records 32-bit internally. But I'm not that thrilled with the DJI Mic 2s, and I'll tell you why. It's not the performance. The form factor's great. It records 32-bit. It's the tone of the microphone that I'm not that big a fan of. So normally, it seems a little dull to me. I like more mid-range with a nice touch of high end on my microphones. It sounds a little dull. So I usually use a lapel, and when you hold them like this, which initially I thought was silly, they sound a lot better, of course. They're much clearer. They have a nice, better high end presence. So the next wireless lapel mics that I get, I'm going to wait and get a different set. I might switch brands. I might not get the DJI Mic 3, which should be coming out any time. Maybe, maybe not. I've really liked the DJI Action 5 microphones. If they're close to me, if I wear the DJI Action 5 camera on my lapel or around my neck, the microphones are very, very clear for me. So I really like those mics. They should give us some options with the DJI Mic 2 in software where we can EQ it differently. I think that would take care of my concerns. 70s and 80s is not hot. 80s is hot. Try Grok for images. They're all improving. I think I will. I'll do that. Just based on rumors that iPhone 17 Pro Max may have 8K video and be able to record both front and rear cameras at the same time. So I can do that. I don't have 8K, but of course, I can do that now with a free app from Rode. I use it all the time. It's the Rode Capture app. I can record front camera, back camera, both in 4K. So I can record me interviewing somebody, separate files, both files in 4K. Now you have to pay attention because it'll quit on you. And you'll be holding the phone up there and it's not recording anything. You got to pay attention to that. But having it native in the iPhone would be phenomenal. I use that when I'm interviewing somebody. Or if I'm walking down like Main Street and I'm talking about a building or a parade or something, I'll have the option of cutting. Well, I usually do picture in picture, but I have 2 separate files and both the files are 4K. It records 4K, 2 4K files, independent right now with the free Rode Capture app. I know Filmic Pro had one too that can do that. 8K video would be amazing on a phone, but 6K would be too. Final Cut Pro is my editor. DaVinci Resolve is still a plan B for me. Most of the time I study Final Cut Pro 11, the less potential to use for DaVinci Resolve. I spend most of my time in Final Cut, but I like DaVinci Resolve and I spend more time to learn that as well. I'm wanting an Apple TV 8K to go with that iPhone 17 Pro Max. Look, they came out with the iPhone 16 Pro Max last September. They gave us that audio mix feature. You still can't use it in Final Cut Pro. After a year later, and you can't use that audio mix feature in Final Cut Pro? Come on. What? Why? You can use it in the Photos app. Not the Photos app. Yeah. You can use it in other Mac apps. It's right there. The information's in the file. And after all this time, almost a year later, we still can't use it in Final Cut Pro. Amazing that you can't use that feature in Final Cut Pro. Ben says, I'm a diehard fan of the Tascam DR10L. Been using them for 5 years and love them. Never a problem. Great audio quality. Yeah, absolutely. Those independent audio recorders are fantastic. I have a Tascam too. Richard, it's micro at $250. The capsule is not extraordinary. You're talking about the DJI Mic 2? It's the tone. It sounds dull to my ears. It sounds dull. It sounds much better holding it up, which you expect physically because you're talking directly into it rather than down here and the audio is going over top this way. It's not going directly into the capsule. I understand that. I use a Hollyland lapel plugged into my DJI mic, stick it in my pocket, take the Hollyland lapel and pin it up here somewhere, and that sounds better. But I'd like to see, because now the microphones have EQ, where you can EQ them. So if I could boost a little bit, say around 2K up, maybe 1K, 2K up in that area, I'd like to be able to boost that in software in the app, because the DJI Mic 2 doesn't have an app. You can't do anything like that. Or no, and you know what? Let me do it in the screen. I don't need an app necessarily. Roz says she's got to run. Jane Lears. Oh, I knew that name. This is my partner, my life partner, Jane Lears. Vertical videos, I think they're unfortunate popularity due to the selfie, and the selfie one vertical element predominates the person. Yes, they do absolutely dominate this. But people will film a scene out in the wild, you know, a scene out on a farm, and they'll film it vertically when it's much more information being cut off. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I shoot this way sometimes, if I'm shooting specifically. I've shot some videos where I'm vertical and then I have information off to the side as I go through. Not sure about 8K shooting, editing, distribution, see overkill from us. I shoot 4K, I'll always distribute in 10K. Jane says, I prefer to see more than one person. That's exactly correct. Imagine seeing Spider-Man or Superman in vertical. Oh, here's the action over here. Here's the action over here. It's not meant for film. It's meant for social media. And in that case, it's fine. It's okay. The people who want to use it, that's fine. Nothing beats a receiver and a transmitter with the Samkin lavalier microphone, but it's not the same price, of course. Of course. Have yet to find a mic better than the Sennheiser MD46, the ENG and Sports Sidewind workhorse. Even the wireless version is not the same. Absolutely. Let me go get this microphone real quick. I'll be right back. This is my favorite. This is my new favorite microphone for mobile filmmaking with an iPhone, or even not. This is a fantastic, fantastic microphone. It records 32-bit, Now, this is not the wind muff that came with it. They have a very nice black one. I bought this one. It might be a little bit better. But this is the microphone. Let me pull it out of there. It's really tight. This is the shotgun mic, and it has so many great features. It's a Comica. It's a Comica mic, the VM40, and it has so many features. It has built-in noise reduction if you want it, I think 1 or 2 levels. It has a high boost and a low cut. You can turn them both on, or one on, or none on. It records 32-bit float internally. It records 32-bit float internally. It has a physical volume dial on the back. You can turn from 0 to 10. Physical. It has an app as well. This is my favorite mic for shooting with my phones, mobile, video, for people in front. Now, I use it for 2 things. If I'm interviewing somebody, I'll have a lapel on and it'll be recording internally into my DJI mic too. This mic, because it has the volume control, it's very powerful. It records 32-bit. I always record in my microphones when I'm filming. I never depend on the transmission back to the phone. This is wireless. It has a receiver you can plug into the phone, but I usually don't do that. I just record internally 32-bit. So if I'm interviewing somebody and I'm going to be behind the camera, this will be the mic that I shoot in front of the camera. Now, however, I also use this if I'm interviewing somebody and I'm going to be in front of the camera. There's also a foam thing on here. If I'm going to be in front of the camera, I'll use this to go back and forth. The quality is very similar to my Sennheiser MKE 600. Very, very similar. But this records internally to 32-bit. It has a 0 to 10 physical dial on the back. It has built-in noise reduction. It has a high-pass filter and a high boost filter, both. And it's wireless. I can connect it to my phone or my camera wirelessly if I want to. But usually I just record. So this is my favorite mobile microphone, Comica. They're doing some incredible work. I've used it plenty of times. It's very, very loud, which is what I like. Let's catch up some of these comments. I'd love 8K would allow me more camera angles such as zooms and pans. Absolutely. I think I do it with 4K, gets a lot more options than filming in 1080p. So it's not about distributing 8K products. That's exactly correct. I film everything in 4K. I don't distribute anything in 4K. Everything is 1080p. So I have 4 different frames I could go to. My Lumix S5 Mark II X has 6K. It shoots 6K internally in the camera. And that camera is 1.5 years old. That's a full frame camera. I had to buy new lenses for it. One single product is not the answer for every user. Everyone finds what works for them and sticks with it. We have all unique situations and workflows. Everything beats out everything else. Absolutely. It's amazing, even with HD and 4K and now 8K and even more distribution and even many editing still done in HD. The most recent have even major movies. Absolutely. The major movies have millions of dollars of budgets. It's the one that has no wire for the plugged in. How do you hang it on the phone? I don't hang in the microphone. I don't hang the mic on the phone. I have a separate. I have a little L handle. I have the Insta360 gimbal, an L handle, and on top of the L handle is a cold shoe, and I mount this on the L handle. So I'm like this. I have the gimbal and I have the L handle, and I point this so it doesn't mount on the phone. But it has a little receiver with a lightning port that snaps into the phone if you're just recording that microphone. But like I said, I always have the DJI Mic 2 recording me. put it in my pocket, put a lapel mic on, press record, let it run. Same with this. Set it to record, make sure it's running, and just let it run. 32-bit float, recording internally. And then just match them up in post. And I got much better audio than recording to the phone. And then here's the thing. Sometimes I record with the DJI Mic 5, Action 5 is 2. So I have the DJI Action 5 will be recording it with its microphones. It records a separate audio track, the DJI Mic 2, plus audio on the video. And then the microphone, instead of plugging in a device, unless I'm streaming live, that's different. If I'm streaming live, I have to plug in a device. If I'm not streaming live, I just record the microphone, let it record its own audio. So I have the microphone, the audio from the DJI Action 5 Pro. I got the audio from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I got the audio from the Comica LM40 microphone, and I got the audio from my DJI Mic 2 microphone. So the ones I just use are the Comica and the DJI Mic 2 typically. Sometimes I use the Action 5 mic audio. It sounds really good. That's what I usually do. Darius says he has to go. Have a great weekend all. Great show. Thank you. Gotta run, Richard. It's dog training day for me, and today is booked solid. Y'all enjoy your weekend. To be well, stay hydrated, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we have like 60 people watching live right now. Even if Ben and Darius are leaving, we still have 60 people. So, I was in a band in the 1970s, and its name was Zen Archer, but it wasn't spelled like you would think Zen Archer would be spelled. It was spelled Zehnarchar. I mean, I'm bringing this up for a reason. Let me just get myself in order here. And we used to put out our own record, just one of our records, Zen Archer. That's me in the upper left-hand corner. And Rusty on bass, Joe Armacost on drums, and Alan Lapata on the other guitar. We were kind of a Stonesy, New York Dolls, Ramones kind of a band, combination of basic rock and roll and a bit of garage. We were more garagey than punk, but of course they associated us with punk. Anyway, we were in Baltimore in the 1970s. We played CBGBs in New York. We traveled all up and down the East Coast. We even got to England, but that didn't go too well. So we put out our own records and stuff. And we were when you're in a band, it's a pretty close-knit, in this situation, it's a pretty close-knit organization. We were pretty darn good friends became pretty darn good friends over the year. Well, unfortunately, our drummer, Joe Armacost, died a week ago today. He's been ill. He was ill for a while. So he was a good friend. I was trying to get together with him over the last year or so. It just didn't work out. And I've talked with him on the phone and stuff. And Joe Armacost, rest in peace. You were a good friend of mine. He died at 68 years old. 68 years old. I just wanted to bring that up. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind since I found out about it last week. But anyway, that was the band Zen Archer. We had a really good time over the years. During 1970s, I think we broke up in '79. But we played CBGB's in New York. We used to play all down the East Coast, and we did get to England over there. So I just thought I'd mention that and give a little tribute to Joe. Is it a directional or cardioid microphone? It's a shotgun. I think it's hypercardioid. Let me look it up for you. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. We will do this. I did an unboxing video. Let me look on my channel. Pull it up and do a quick. Oh, it's verified. It's me. Of course, it's me. Let's do this. All right, we're going to do another microphone. We'll play this here. This is the unboxing video I did for it. Look at this. Here, where the heck are we? Countdown Black. MacBook. Here we go. All right, we're going to do another microphone check. As usual, I'm going to use the DJI Mic 2 as a baseline microphone. Everybody knows what that sounds like, but we're adding a new character today. This microphone is absolutely incredible. So much for my internet connection. What the heck's going on? Oh, well, here we go. Let's fast forward. Bit float audio internally. You can see the red light there. It's recording 32-bit audio internally. Sonically, it sounds very similar to my Sennheiser MKE 600 shotgun microphone. They both sound very similar. It has a volume dial on the microphone itself from 0 to 10. So right now I'm recording both internally to this microphone, and I'll let you know which version you're listening to. And I'm also transmitting wirelessly to my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Not only does it have internal 32-bit recording and volume dial on the bottom, and it's wireless, it also has a low cut filter and a high boost filter. And it has noise reduction. Right now, I'm on level 1 of the noise reduction. No EQ filters are plugged in right now. This is with the high frequency boost. And what does this sound like? I'm going to also cut the low end with one of the other settings. Let's try that. This is the high frequency boost turned off, but the low end rolled off. Anyway, that's it. So look up Comica VM40. I like this for mobile filming. It's my favorite shotgun microphone. The Sennheiser MKE 600 that I have, and even the MKE 400 that I have, they're not as loud as this one is. And that's an issue for me. In the studio, it's not a problem. I got plenty of preamp and stuff. But filming live or filming live or whatever, it's different. So I use that all the time. Let me just turn that off. Hey, be quiet. There we go. Let's catch up. Give us the reference of the microphone. So I'm going to let me do this. So do a search on Amazon, and it's on sale. It's 20% off right now. Just do a search for Comica VM40 wireless shotgun microphone. Let me see what it says. Dual channel 20. It has an audio app too. So yeah, just do a search on Amazon. Now the thing about Amazon is you can return it if you don't like it. I buy things all the time. Try them out if I don't like them. It's 20% off right now, so that's a good buy. I think that's probably what I paid for it. I think that is probably what I paid for it. It comes with a great case, comes with a wind muff, comes with a foam filter as well. So to see the important aspect of audio, just look at movie without sound. You can see audio mixture, rolls, basses, and next thing is Phonica Pro Team. My friend Carter Bing says, my condolences. Thank you very much. It's been on my mind since we were good friends in the 70s. We formed a very strong knit. And I was shocked because I've talked to him and I've texted him, Joder. We call him Joder, Joder. His name is Joe Armacost. And he was a big producer in Baltimore, radio producer. One of my band, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, and a few other popular guys died in July. We are getting all over. Absolutely are. Absolutely are. Some people, band members, I lost a band member last Thanksgiving that was in another band with me, and he was young, I'm saying young, comparatively. He was in his 60s, and he died, and he was like... It's just, I don't know. Certain people hit you. And Joe was one. Because I was trying to get together with him and the bass player. The bass player and I, Rusty, have gotten together a few times, but I was trying to get together with Joe and the bass player because we haven't been together for quite a while. And I was trying to get lunch together, and we were trying to make the arrangements, but Joe got too sick, and that's just the way it is. It wasn't meant to be in the cards. So, what else do we have? I think we're good for today. What do you think? Anything else going on? Let's check the backyard. Nothing going on back there, right? No, there's a bird. Oh, flying on the ground. Some of the birds eat off the driveway, and some of the birds eat off the suet feeder, bird feeder. Look at all those thumbs up we got. Fantastic. Lots and lots of thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. And just, give thumbs up. It's good for the old algorithm on YouTube. I never thought that I'd be that involved with videos, but it's turned out to be pretty good, so I'm going to keep on doing them. Do you think we will get bands who last that long in the future? I don't think so. I mean, the Rolling Stones are in their 80s. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, they are still on tour, and they're recording a new album in their 80s. John Fogerty is up there. Bob Dylan is up there. Now, for the most part, I would say they write their best stuff in the lean and hungry days when they're much younger, for the most part. Most artists, Simon and Garfunkel, all these bands, they write their best. Tom Petty wrote his stuff when he was early on. I think his best stuff. He was more consistent, I would say. Tom Petty was. That's the kind of music that I like. Paul McCartney wrote his best stuff with the Beatles and right after the Beatles, the first 2 or 3 albums he had. His first solo album, just called McCartney, was phenomenal. Maybe I'm Amazed. Amazing song. Amazing song. That could have been a Beatles song. Paul's still out there banging it away, but I mean his songwriting, and same with Dylan, I don't think it's nearly as good as it was. The Stones, not nearly as good. Dylan, they wrote their best stuff when they were younger, which is what you expect. What you expect. Julian Lennon had a great quote, John Lennon's son. He said, "You have your entire life to write your first album." and only 1 year to write your second. That's very, very good point. Very, very good point. Now bands seem to vanish pretty fast. So most music that I hear now is not, I don't think that the people are using computers and AI to write music. It's different than a human being sitting down with a guitar and writing a song, or a piano and writing a song. And what's happening is, yeah, there's musical notes in the melody, but they're not unique and they're not engaging. They're not a creative melody, like, for example, Hey Jude, or in Paul McCartney's Penny Lane. The melody line is phenomenal in those songs. Nowadays, they're doing algorithms and computer stuff. And for the most part, I mean, there may be some younger people that are doing creative music writing, but it's also more difficult because it's been a long time. The Beatles wrote a lot of songs, the Stones, Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, Tom Petty, some of my favorite people, John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater Revival. They wrote so many great songs that the song music nowadays doesn't move me for whatever reason. When I first heard Hey Jude, I still know where I was. I was a teenager. I remember where I was. I was driving in a car going up this road in Carroll County. I remember the first time I heard that song. That's how powerful that was. Nowadays, doesn't mean much. Of course, everybody's generation, their music, they think is the best, but I think logistically I can prove it. Nobody writes original music. Everybody's using computers and make it sound like this song, make it sound like that song. Let me borrow a couple lines from here, a couple lines from there. It's not the same. Let a human sit down with a guitar or a piano, a violin, and just write a song. One human voice, one instruments. Seems music was more from soul, not marketing like today. Yeah, so like the Motown sound. That was phenomenal sound. Phenomenal sound in the days when it was coming out. I don't hear anything like that anymore. I don't, if I can hear a song and it reaches an emotion, that's what I like. That's what I like. Music that's just, it's music. It's got notes and it sounds a little bit like this, a little bit like that. That doesn't do anything for me. It's too generic. It's too generic. It doesn't have the emotion that some of these other songs did. Some of my favorites. Anyway. So Final Cut Pro team, let's give them a round of applause. They always watch this live stream. No ifs, ands, or buts. They watch it every week. If you're on vacation, that's fine, but don't take more than a week or two. Don't take the whole summer off and give us nothing. Don't make us wait from July all the way to November for a feature update. That's too long, because at that point, we got one in March, right before NAB. We got 11.1? Yeah, 11.1 with features. Don't make us wait 6 months, 7 months, 8 months for another feature, because the features aren't that, they're just 3 or 4. It isn't like you give us a dozen great features each time. So give us something between now and the Creative Summit if we indeed are going to get an update at the Creative Summit. And if there is going to be a Creative Summit, I haven't got confirmation. I have not got confirmation yet, so we'll see. The FMC will be out with information, I think, within the next, hopefully in August, once they get done with their current AI Summit, AI Creative Summit. I think they'll get by then. Anybody else who hasn't said hi in the comments, go ahead and say hi and tell us where you're from. We got about 60 people watching live right now, which is a nice, very nice audience. Makes it worthwhile coming out here on Saturdays, doesn't it? I'm not sure what those little symbols are in YouTube. Purple symbols. Is that how many times people have commented or something? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Let me click on one. It might just mean that's how many times they've commented in this show. Nothing going on there. Nothing going on there. Anybody, don't be shy. If you're watching, we got 60 people watching. If you're watching and haven't commented, go ahead and comment in the either on the X or on YouTube or on Facebook and introduce yourself. Just say, hey, I'm from South Africa. Hey, I'm from Vietnam. Hey, I'm from Japan. We got a person from Alaska today. First time that I recall somebody from Alaska joining the show. Just so I know. Or hello from the Netherlands. There you go. Very, very cool. Well, I like, one of the reasons I do this is for you, the audience. That's one of the reasons. If you watch other live streams, which are good, they're good. Everybody wants to talk like the Brady Bunch. Talk, 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 talk. I want to give you an opportunity to be heard by the Final Cut Pro team. That's why I come on. How easy to edit music video concert in Final Cut Pro 11 today, Richard? Absolutely. I use it for music multicam all the time. I use multicam all the time. I can't be the only one on X. There are 23 others here who could be heard. I agree. I'm just, if you're shy, that's fine. You don't have to say anything, but just tell us where you're from. Just say hi from so-and-so. Yeah, there's 23 people watching on the X platform. There's always a lot of people on the X platform. Always a lot of people on the X platform. Let's take a screen grab of that. There we go. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it says, 26. Yep, very, very cool. So, any other comments about Final Cut Pro? Any reports? Bug fixes that need to be done before we giddy up out of here? This is a real nice wind muff. It's custom made for this microphone. First I got that one, it's too long. It comes with its own wind muff. You don't have to buy one. There we go. Got a new friend of ours. Hey, from Brazil. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad to meet you. I hope I meet you at some point at a Creative Summit or something. That'd be fantastic. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Absolutely. This is all about, Final Cut TV is all about the community. And I like the audience. Because since Final Cut Pro team watches this, they see your comments when I put them up. Do you use Vimeo in addition to YouTube? No. I stopped Vimeo years ago. They seemed like they were way behind the times. I understand some of the benefits of Vimeo, but I use YouTube and I have different platforms I use for sharing smaller videos, projects and stuff. So, lots of people watching today. Absolutely. Let me just check, make sure check. Yep, everything's looking good. So this is my audio. Let me just show you that before we get out of here. This is my audio setup. This is United Audio. This is the audio comes in here. You can't actually see it. Yeah, there you go. The audio comes in this mixing board, goes through this channel strip, goes through this channel strip, goes to this, whatever the heck this is, goes through this. This is a Oh, look at that. It stopped working. Ah, whatever. And then it goes through this Oxford limiter. That's why I was having problems before. I know how to fix it now. So that's my setup. That runs in real time. It's not dependent. It does not use the processor. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Yep, it did. Check 1, 2. Let's do this. Output trim. Check, check, check. 1, 2. There we go. Yeah, that one. I'm having problems with that one. Stay off the buttons. Now audio is worse. Let me go back and listen to it. Let me see one time real quick. Audio is worse. Well, that's okay. We're pretty much done now. I don't know why it's not coming through. Well, I'll fix it for the next time. Stay off the buttons. Audio is worse. Turn that down. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. It shut it off by itself. That's okay. It's time to go anyway for today. Next week, let me get closer to the microphone. Next week, we should have 2 gigs up and 2 gigs down. We should. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. My audio is messed up. I did something wrong. Thanks for tuning in. I will see everybody next week. Thanks.